Looks like we've taken out our fair share of bucks today. Like thousands. So we're headed out to western Kansas, almost to the Colorado border. A good buddy of mine, Keith Wiedemann, been on the hunting with me for several years. We've been talking for off and on for 3 or 4 years about heading out there. Another buddy of mine, Ron Robinson, was down here in the Springfield area going to school, moved back out to northeast Colorado, right around the border of Kansas. We were chit-chatting before season. Said he had some pretty decent areas with turkeys, so Keith and I just decided we'd go ahead and make a trip of it and head on out there and see what we can do.
This incredible pool of luck special coming up later on today. Stick around. Randy Rogers band up with their
Welcome to Kansas. Giddy up.
Well, get stoned.
Danger, danger, you don't know my name, but I followed you here through heaven's gates, and I love the way you smile when you cause me pain. Vulture, vulture, I can see you spy from your spot up above. You watch the weather die, and I love the way you smile when you take to the sky. So when I die, bury my body in a three-piece suit. So while I lie,
So Keith rolled over to my house about 6 o'clock in the morning. We packed all the gear up and hit the road. It was a 10.5-hour drive all the way across Kansas to almost the Colorado border. We made it there mid-afternoon, checked into our motel, unloaded our gear, and decided we had a couple 3 hours left of daylight. So we loaded back up in a truck and went out for an afternoon scout.
I want to know what's on the other side of this.
Let me see those
He's not filming them, he's filming us now.
Yeah. Now let me get out of here.
I've never heard them predict that much rain either, so it's supposed to be stretched out over 4 days. So.
Oh, okay.
There's another truck over there to the right. On that green wheel to the right. Just to the right of that tree. Huh? Yeah, there's
Car or tractor, I can't tell.
There's another one over here to the right of that. There's trees over here in that part. So we met up with Ron and when it started to go check a few of his places, we more or less let him take the lead on the scouting the birds. The terrain is way different than what I'm used to. We've got rolling hills, woods, some green fields out there. It's mostly flat. There's some creeks that's got tree lines in it. It's really brown. On the way out, Keith and I looked at each other and we're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We're used to green. We have green camo. We made it work. We found a few birds and we were excited for the next day. So we're pretty excited for the next day's hunt. We'd picked out 3 or 4 birds, watched them head towards the section where we thought they would roost. We'll get out there real early. Glad we did. Birds started gobbling a lot earlier than what we're used to here in Missouri. But then when they started gobbling, there was a lot more than 2 or 3. It definitely sounded 25 or 30. So we're a little bit worried. There's going to be a lot of eyes. We set up, waited for them to work their way in. It took quite a while just because there was so many birds. The leading birds ended up being some jakes that walked right into about 20, 25 yards. Keith and I first looked at each other and said, should we do it? I whispered back, let's hold off, because I knew there was a couple toms toward the back end of the group. The jakes worked on past us, then some hiddens came on through. We ended up having a couple hawks that swooped down 2 different times and pushed the birds back into the woods. They even putted a couple times. I was a little bit worried that they might go ahead and move off a different direction. We stayed patient and waited on them. The birds moved on in. One last time, hawks swooped down again, and that time the toms decided they were going to go ahead and leave. There was 2 of them, one at about 40 yards, the other one about 5 or 10 yards behind it. Really only had the one clear shot at the first bird. So as he started to go ahead and leave, I told Keith to go ahead and take this shot, and he made a great shot on him. Keith made a great shot on him, went and checked him out. He's a real nice Rio. You can definitely tell the difference between the Rios and our Eastern just by the colorations. By the time these birds showed up, it was middle of the morning. We had the rest of the day, so we went ahead and packed everything up, headed back to the trucks, and would go ahead and scout for the afternoon and for the next day. Over there to the other side of that is where we came. Yeah. We picked up the bird, packed up all of our gear, and started heading back to the truck. It was about a mile and a half back to the truck. On the way back, we started feeling a little bit of a cool breeze. Looked over our shoulder, and it was just absolutely pitch black behind us. So we're a little bit concerned. By the time we made it back to the creek that we'd crossed that morning, which flows from the west, the water had already just began to rising. Where it started out as ankle deep, it was already up to almost knee deep. So we got across that, made it back to the truck, and it just started unleashing rain. We knew it was going to rain at some point. We just didn't know exactly how bad it was going to rain. Leave it to Ron to wear tennis shoes, turkey hunting. Lesson learned the hard way. I've been using a lot, but radar's looking really nasty, and the sky's getting black, so gonna have to call today. So we made it back to the truck. I was glad we did in time. It just started pouring like crazy. By the time we got back to the motel, we were looking at the radar. It looked absolutely nasty, and it was going to be. We also saw a few breaks here and there, so we decided we'd stick it out one more day. We tried a few different sets here and there. I just couldn't get any birds fired up. And we were looking at the radar some more, and it was actually going to be calling for between 5 and 10 inches of rain and then turning to snow in a couple days. We were supposed to be there about 4 days in total. But after a couple days and all this rain, we decided to go ahead and pack everything up, head back for Missouri, and get ready for our season to open up that Monday.
And then there was the one.
Well, I have seen the red of June follow my voice through songs I sing to you, and I hope you hear them too. Sunset spread, laid out like paint. Run to the river where I see red again, and blue is flowing in the bed. Colors take me away, you know, to a special little place of my own. Miss the blue of the water wide, miss the leaves in the green of my home. and fall, can't wait for them all. Orange fields.
Which in the end, it worked out good that we made it back early. Some of the guys, we decided we'd go ahead and throw a little bit of a barbecue, kind of an in-between season type of deal, as well as we'd post it up on Facebook, inviting some new folks out. We're going to do a film school, learn some new tips and tricks, pass on some information, and it was a really good time, and we learned quite a bit.
David also said that we should have Michael Kyle come out, and David and Michael run a barbecue competition team called Upsauce Creek, and they were going to have some barbecue out for us, so it was really cool, and we really appreciate them doing that for all the guys, and it just made the whole atmosphere one of fun and, you know, just camaraderie, and we just had a great time, and we're looking forward to next season.
Me away, you know, to a special little place of my own. Look in the air, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's my heart falling down like rain on a cold tin roof, and I feel calm for the first time tonight. Thinking about missing another summer, the thunder that rolls while my mind sails steady, lists and floats the sea, the calm breeze accompanying me. Don't you ever think that, darling, I've forgotten, 'cause my care's still cotton, everything you gotta give and all the things that I haven't even seen quite yet. 'Cause I can...
So once David got back, we got all the guys together. It had been a really long season, and we wanted to get everybody geared up for spring season, and, you know, it had been 12 months since we'd filmed anything turkey-wise, so I just wanted to put some reminders, you know, out to the guys of what we want and what we want to look for. As well as we got a few new guys out there who were interested in learning a little bit more. So it was really cool to be able to show them a few new things.
Hit one, don't say record up here and stop. That stuff is real easy, but if you don't understand, just ask a question now. You want to do? Yeah, don't fear. You're going to have, I'm sorry, 3 or 4 minutes. Don't be shot. You can walk up.
Sometimes I find myself in vine, in avocado, use what I can find. Whatever I can find. I got a sister I don't see so much of. I see the sea so much I can only think.
So I hope everybody enjoyed our season. Chris and I both did. It's just something we're passionate about, as well as the rest of the guys. We had a fun time, met a lot of new people, hunted all over, and we're looking forward to next season. We're going to do it all over again. Shoulder, and it was absolutely pitch black behind us. We started to
We saw that it was pitch black behind us. We got to the
breaks. So we called in the morning and went back, and it was just absolute madness. We got set up. Nope, said that 2 or 3 times. Soap over. Yep. So.
That's a good way to wrap it up.
Just laugh.
They actually run a smoking team together. I don't like smoking team. They run a barbecue team together. Barbecue competition team.
Barbecue competition and catering.
We run a little barbecue competition team, and it's called Upsauce Creek Outfitters. And I wanted him just to give the guys a little barbecue. Outfitters, yeah, I know, right? Of fun and, you know, just camaraderie, and we just had a great time, and we're looking forward to next season. Giddy up.
Cool. Oh, I'm going to.